And there you see a little bit of movement on the offensive line, and it'll set up longer down and distance for Dane Tiedemann and company. Gotta wonder where number 18 is in this formation. The pass goes complete. Number 7 for Palm Springs. That's the first time he's touched the ball. That's Antonio Puentes, the senior tight end, with a catch. And he's going to be close to a first down, but he's going to be about 2 yards short. So Palm Springs, are they thinking about going for it? I'd have to think. You've got to. Now they have Tiedemann back in punt formation. So always the threat of him passing or running out of this. Mustangs don't even have anybody back, and the snap goes way over Tiedemann's head. He retrieves it, but now he's in some trouble, and the pass is batted away, and so it'll be turned over on downs. The ball will go back to the Mustangs, and oh, JJ, those snaps back to the shotgun or the punter have been the bane of Palm Springs tonight.
Yes, they've been the demise for this team this evening. This is the third time this evening it's been a quarterback-center exchange problem. And right there, I'd like to see Tiedemann really still punt the ball. It's fourth down. He still has that opportunity. But the play was called, and he still tried to execute it.
So the Mustangs turn it back into the hands of the offense with another defensive stop, and Hernandez and company looking to add to a 28-3 lead here very late in the third quarter. Stringfellow goes in motion. Oh, it's a gadget play back to Torrance, and if he gets to the edge, but Tyler Truitt did not lose his containment, and that might have saved the touchdown because there weren't too many Indians left on that side of the field, and we have a very late flag. We're going to get an illegal block at the back against the Mustangs. But, JJ, that wasn't the smoothest running play, but if Torrance gets to the edge, he might still be running.
He does. You see, it's all really sniffed out by Rodney Butler and pushed back. So Torrance really doesn't have a lot of space to run with, but he has that speed, so there's always that possibility for a big play.
But number 42, Tyler Truitt, held his ground over on the far side of the field and enabled the pursuit to catch up to Torrance. So big loss on the play. Interesting that the Mustangs would be running some kind of gadgetry up 28-3, and we've got an injured, it looks like perhaps a cramp going on with one of the Mustangs. Looks like Kenny Torrance comes up a little bit gimpy there. And we're going to get a timeout, Mustangs. 9 seconds to go in the third quarter. And when Kenny was running out to set himself up in the slot right, he went to the ground, and the way that he got his legs straightened out here, we hope that it's no more than a cramp, and Kenny's up and walking off under his own power to the delight of the Mustang faithful on the far side. He'll miss a play, but it'll be first down and 19 after the penalty was stepped off. Hernandez directing traffic, has trips left this time. And I don't know exactly, I don't think Rancho Verde has any more timeouts left. So I'm not exactly sure what the stoppage of play is all about here. The coaching staff is on the field, but I don't think they have any more timeouts left. And I think that our official, Bob Bailey, is telling Rancho Verde, you've got to run a play here. You've used them all up. A little bit of confusion down there on the field, and the officials are going to talk it all over. I think we probably have some kind of a clock problem at this point. Because this has been an awfully long time between plays.
And it has been, and the clock is set back to 12 minutes, so they're talking about, is this the fourth quarter or not?
I think we're going to get an untimed down here because of the penalty. But it has certainly brought proceedings to a halt. All right, untimed down here to end the third quarter, and Hernandez is going to be smothered for a loss. First sack of the ball game, and a trio of Indians get to him. Michael Greer along with Ricky Owens, and I think number 25, Jose Castro, get to Hernandez. They all decide to meet at the quarterback, and the third quarter comes to a close.
That defensive front has stayed stout. They get pressure on the quarterback. They control the line of scrimmage, so there's no running game in between the tackles. Where they are lacking is in the passing game, and we've seen them be exploited by that this evening.
That's the end of the third quarter. Our score, Rancho Verde 28, Palm Springs 3. This is the Central Division CIM Championship on Prep Zone. Fourth quarter coming up, and the Mustang faithful is having a good time. Palm Springs band trying to urge their troops on for a remarkable fourth quarter comeback, and I can't help but think, JJ, had Palm Springs been able to punch it in when they had first and goal at the 4, they'd be sitting there at probably 28-10, maybe 28-11 if they went for 2. And as badly as things have gone, I've seen teams come back from larger deficits than that. But at 28-3, they need to force some kind of a turnover and get a short field, get back into this.
And they need to score fast. I think those are the two things. Get a turnover or 3 downs and out, and then they need to score fast in order to get back in this game.
Paul Westfall, JJ Stokes, glad you could be with us on Prep Zone. 2 undefeated teams doing battle, the top 2 seeds in the Central Division, and Rancho Verde's Kenny Torrance gets to the outside, and he picks up good yards before he's spun to the ground. Number 52 on the tackle for Palm Springs is Rodney Butler.
That play hasn't been efficient for them the entire evening. You get Torrance in motion at full speed and give him the ball so he has full speed and he can get to the edge and get some positive yards.
Butler, who made the tackle, had a huge game-changing play in the playoff win over Chino. He went 76 yards for a touchdown with a fumble recovery. That's the type of play, I think, that would get Palm Springs feeling better about themselves. It's 3rd down and 22 for Rancho Verde. And Hernandez firing to a wide-open receiver. He's got Jamion Lindsay, and it's a foot race to the end zone. Touchdown, Mustangs! On 3rd and 22, Hernandez finds a streaking Jamion Lindsay, and he outraces the Indian secondary for a huge score.
Jamion Lindsay finds the weakness of this Palm Springs defense, which is right in the middle of the field. They spread them out, and they run a crossing route, and Jamion Lindsay exploits the middle.
Conversion attempt coming. The snap is down, the kick is up, and it's good. 11:03 left to play in the ball game. Our score, it's Rancho Verde 35 and Palm Springs 3. This is the Central Division Championship. JJ, let's look at the touchdown.
And right now you have Jamion Lindsay as the outside receiver. They run a crossing route. He comes right to the middle of the field, and then it turns into a foot race, and Jamion Lindsay outruns the entire secondary for Palm Springs in order to score this touchdown.
And for the young man that had a couple bounce off his hands in the first half, that was a great great catch and run. And Hernandez, once again, I've been very impressed with his accuracy tonight. He has thrown some beautiful passes that have hit those speedy receivers in stride. And my guess is you really appreciated it when your quarterbacks hit you right in stride.
And that is the key, to hit them in stride. You don't want them to break spot, because then they allows them to use their speed as an asset and get into the end zone just like Jamion Lindsay is.
35-3. Who would have thought that number 1 against number 2, and the Mustangs have played a fantastic football game here. Fair catch on the kickoff by Truitt, and the Indians just got caught in a Rancho Verde tornado. The young men from Moreno Valley have really played exceptional football tonight, and it would have taken an A-plus effort for Palm Springs tonight to match up with what we've seen from Rancho Verde, and they have impressed me tonight.
They've been very impressive in the way they've attacked the Palm Springs defense. They've done it with a little trickery on the running back toss to Torrance. They've done it taking advantage of the middle with Stringfellow and Lindsay, and they've done it a little bit in the running game.
Give right up the middle. Powering his way for yardage is Jonathan Adams. First carry of the ball game for Adams, the 6', 185-pound senior, and he gets good yardage off right guard.
They run well right between the tackles. They play that power football game. That's what they do best. But in this situation, when you're down 35-3, is that what you really want to do?
Once again, full house backfield. Give us to King. King keeps pounding away. He's finally tackled by a trio of Mustangs around the 40-yard line. Chad Mathis, one of the trio on the tackle. Give him 7 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 3. And I could have sworn Rancho Verde's called 3 timeouts already, but perhaps I am in error, because that is another timeout Mustangs.
I think that 3rd timeout we both thought was a timeout called. That was an injury timeout, but didn't get charged to Rancho Verde, and allowing this to be their 3rd timeout right now.
Works for me. There's a look at Steve Fabian, 13th year at the helm. He was the offensive coordinator under current athletic director Chris Calderwood for many years. Took over the job in 1999. They've made the playoffs every year. Got to the finals in 2004 and 5, losing in the Division 8 finals both times, and then won the CIF championship in 2009. So it's been a wonderful run for Steve Fabian and the Palm Springs Indians, but they ran into an absolute buzzsaw here tonight. Tiedemann rolling. Now he'll keep it. He's got a lot of room on this side of the field if he can get to the edge. And perhaps a touchdown-saving tackle from behind. Great speed shown by Tyshawn Durgan as he chases down Tiedemann from behind. But it'll be enough for a 1st down, but a good effort by Dane Tiedemann.
Dane Tiedemann sees nothing out to his right-hand side and takes the ball down and turns it into a running back. But Tyshawn Durgan makes a touchdown-saving tackle right there.
Weren't too many Mustangs left on that side of the field, but it's still good enough for a 1st down for Palm Springs. The clock is their worst enemy, though. We're inside of 10 minutes to go in the ball game, and they trail by a bunch. It's 35-3. Going to run a draw this time with Greg West, and he's met in the hole by Blair Brown, and the ball comes loose, but the play was already whistled dead. And I'll tell you, I'm very impressed with Blair Brown. He wears number 15 for a reason. There's a legacy at Rancho Verde with number 15. It was worn by Eric Martin, who's now at Nebraska. And Blair Brown was going to wear a different uniform. And he was told by the coaching staff that this year he gets to wear number 15 because he deserves it and he's earned that right. And that goes back to Pete Duffy's days, all the way back at L.A. Fremont in the 90s when he had an overachieving linebacker named Giovanni Martinez who was the first to wear 15. So it's an honor to wear number 15 at Rancho Verde. And Blair Brown certainly deserves that. The pass is complete to Josh Reyes, and it's just enough to move the chains. It'll be first down and 10 Palm Springs at the 35-yard line.